Do you feel it? Are you excited? Well, you should be, because it's another WWE 2K hype train. Whee! What do I mean by that? Well, it's the new game. The new game is getting hyped up, and it's about to come out in like 2 months. Are you excited yet? Because we're going to go through everything that has been released so far. The YouTuber is going to get flown out this week into the Royal Rumble to test the game out. I wasn't one of them, unfortunately, but maybe next year. Oh. Okay, maybe not next year. That's actually not a good idea, please. So in this video, we're going to go through everything that has been announced so far for WWE 2K25. Well, I guess we could start out with the obvious, the big mode, the one that everyone cares about. MyRise! Yeah, MyRise! They're having a new story about, you know, both men and women are connected together. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking with you. It's the island. We all know about the island. That's the big mode that's being hyped up this year. But there's a catch to it. It's only on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series XS. No PC, no PlayStation 4, no Xbox One. It's only next-gen or current-gen consoles. Unfortunately for me, I don't have a PS5 or Xbox Series yet. I will get one eventually, but I don't have them as of now. So, you know? I know people are going to be really excited about the mode. Some people are, but I have massive reservations about it. I've seen NBA 2K The City, and I have bad feelings about this mode, man. I got icky feelings from it, and I'm not a big into it yet. Maybe they'll prove me wrong, and maybe it's gonna be a great mode, but I've just got that bad feeling. But that's not the only thing that was revealed. The Bloodline showcase. Yeah, there's gonna be a showcase mode. Are you excited? Well, you should be, because slingshot technology is gone. Slingshot technology is gone. Finally, it's finally gone forever. So the Bloodline showcase, it seems like it's going to be about the entire Bloodline, not just Roman Reigns, which is good because I didn't want to play as like 4 different Roman Reigns from 4 years ago. So yeah, probably going to feature The Rock, Yoko, all that. So I think it's going to be a fun showcase, especially the fact that there's no slingshot tech, and there's also what if scenarios involved in it. So that makes it a bit more interesting than pretty much any showcase in recent memory. We've also got some new match types as well. First off, the Underground match, the NXT Underground match. It's a match type with no ropes and a bunch of NPCs around the ring, and you fight, I guess, until, you know, someone quits. So that's the basic concept of the Underground match. It's going to be in the next game. It probably will be fun for a bit, but I mean, it's going to be good for like making like, you know, scenes and stuff if you want to make like cool like little scenes for your like universe or whatever. So that should be fun. Intergender matches. Yeah, this is the big one, I think. I am shocked. I am beyond shocked. I did not think WWE would actually go through with having intergender matches, because we haven't had intergender matches in like 20 years. It's been a long time since we had intergender wrestling. And the fact that it's back is shocking, but in a good way, because, you know, I would like to play as a woman beating up a man. I mean, who wouldn't want that? You know, that's fun. And it's a video game, you know? Who cares? It's a video game. Have fun. So yeah, the new match type's pretty good. We also got some chain wrestling is back. Yeah, chain wrestling. I don't know. I think it's fine, and I'm kind of glad that we can get rid of, like, you know, the startup to every match being like no lockup or whatever. But I mean, the last chain wrestling game was like, you know, a mini game of sorts, and people didn't really care for it that much. So that's probably what it's gonna be. 2K bringing features back that they took out years ago. You can also climb the barricade. If it's shown in the commercial, you can see Seth Rollins jumping off the barricade. Don't know if that's a next-gen only thing, but that's cool. And the arenas. SmackDown has the new logo and the new set. Raw doesn't. It does not have the Netflix set, but I don't really blame them, because having to make the Netflix arena, like, that was in, like, what, January of this year? Like, no, they're not going to have that. People are going to be disappointed, but, you know, it is what it is, man. It's, like, it's fine. I don't really care that much. I can just download it on CC and be done with it. It's not that big of a deal for me, at least. GM mode. So this mode has actually been better year after year after year, even if it's small incremental things. The mode has gotten better, which is better than the majority of everything else. Out of all the modes, GM mode has the most improvements. So there's a big change here. Online multiplayer up to 4 players. Up to 4 players can play MyGM mode in 2K25. That's crazy. And I think that's really cool. And it seems like the GM mode is going to be another sleeper mode. It's not going to be something that I would play a lot, but I can tell that GM mode actually, they put some thought into it, and having 4-player GM mode online is crazy. That's going to make some great content. So that's good. You got more general managers, cross-brand pay-per-views, and more. So GM mode, good for me. Speaking of modes, so let's talk about universe mode. Ah, yes, universe mode. My favorite mode, my most played mode, but a mode that is super flawed. And it looks like 2K is trying to do some incremental things. They brought back promos after all this time. Hopefully they're not as bad as the previous ones, because those promos in 2K19 were kind of ass. But it also says there's new promo types and outcomes with new cutscenes. Now, the new cutscenes part, you know, press X to doubt on that. Branching choices, the last time they did that was a failure in WWE 13. I don't know, man. I love universe mode. It should be the premier mode of the game, but it's just, they just don't do anything much with it. But they can't get rid of it either because they know how many people play it, so hopefully it's just not as buggy. If that's something, then that would be good. I also talked about MyRise earlier. It's the same story. It's probably gonna be bleh, and I don't care. So sorry, MyRise fans. According to 2K, there's also gonna be 300 plus people on the roster. Wow, incredible, 2K. You know, maybe we'll have like 10 different Roman Reigns skins, or maybe we'll have 10 different Persona cards for Roman Reigns. That would be something too, huh? Also, MyFaction is back. If you're the people that like MyFaction, so good for you. I'm not gonna play it probably ever, but it's there, and there's probably gonna be more Persona cards and more microtransactions everywhere and yada yada yada. So there you go. There are also 3 different versions of the game. You firstly have the standard edition, which is basically just the $70, $60 game. Then you have the Deadman edition and the Bloodline edition. Let's go through the Deadman first. So the Deadman edition is digital only, which isn't cool, and it comes with the game plus up to 7-day early access, March 7th, Deadman edition bonus pack, MyFaction Persona card, Undertaker 90 and Mattel figure of the Undertaker. You also get a weapon, an urn, and you get Brother Love as a manager. And then you get the season pass with the 5 different post DLC character packs, Supercharger to unlock everything, and 15,000 virtual currency. I mean, I really don't give a shit about MyFaction, but speaking of which, we'll talk about that later. And then the other big version is the Bloodline edition. It's also digital only for $129, and the Deadman edition was $99.99. So yeah, these editions are crazy. And the Bloodline edition comes with 7-day early access. You get MyFaction cards, whoop-de-fucking-do. You get the same thing in the Undertaker stuff. You get the ringside pass, which is the Supercharger, the 5 DLC packs, and you get MyRise boost, 100 VC, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you get the Rock Nation of Domination, and you get a Persona card. Whoop-de-fucking-do. I can wipe my ass with that, okay? Finally, let's talk about the pre-order bonus. So, the pre-order bonus, you get the Wyatt 6. Yes, the Wyatt 6. MyFaction Persona cards for Uncle Howdy, Dexter Lumis, Nikki Cross, Joe Gacy, and Eric Rowan. Now, I don't know if it's just Persona cards, because if it is, that's shitty. That's really dumb. They should be... I think you get both Persona cards and the character, base roster. I hope that it's both the Persona cards and the characters. If not, that's crap. But that's my opinion. And you also get cosmetics, which we will talk about in another video about the island and all that. You get an Uncle Howdy mask and a Nikki Cross mask. That's pretty much it for all the different editions of the game. Before you get super duper excited about the new wrestling game, I'm going to show you a chart that basically explains the whole entire cycle and why you should temper your expectations of the game. Alright, let's get into it. Firstly, the 2K hype train. The new year means it's time for a new game, and 2K ramps up the marketing and the hype train to get you excited to buy the game and the $230 version of the game. Alright, after the hype train ends, the game releases, and people are happy because the game's not bad. People are excited to play the game. They're like, yeah, this game's great, and all the reviews come out and say it's the best wrestling game we've seen in years. Part 3. After a few months, people get bored of the game and start complaining about how it's broken, it doesn't work, there's too much greed, etc., etc. That's part 3. We move on to part 4. 2K really doesn't do much at all to fix this except trying to increase their profits, which, fair, I guess. And then part 5. By month 9, the game is basically dead, people have dropped it, and we wait for the next game. And then the cycle repeats as we head into the next year. This is the 2K wrestling game cycle, and if you see this and understand it, you'll basically get how it all works. I'm sorry to be the Debbie Downer here, but that's just the reality of it after being through these cycles for years and years and years. And that's pretty much it for everything that we know so far about WWE 2K25. Now, I do think that this weekend and in the next few weeks, we're going to see the YouTubers like Brandon and Dinkops and New Legacy. They're all going to be flown out to play the game for the Royal Rumble. We're going to get more news from those guys, but I'm going to leave it up to them to post that on their channels. I'm not going to get into that. And I just wanted to talk about everything that we know so far for WWE 2K25. If you liked the video, like, subscribe, and comment down below. What's your favorite feature of WWE 2K25? Please don't tell me it's MyRise. All right, please don't tell me that. And yeah, that's it. So see ya.